Did you know power outages have skyrocketed by 64% over the past decade? And guess what? Experts are saying summer 2025 could bring record-shattering heat waves across the entire country. No sugarcoating here. This isn't something you can ignore. If you're not ready, you're setting yourself up for failure. What I'm about to share are the 9 absolute must-haves you need to survive going off-grid before the heat and blackouts come crashing down. And this isn't optional. These items will literally make the difference between staying safe and being in serious trouble. Here's the cold, hard truth. Most people think they've got it under control. Spoiler alert? They don't. A whopping 78% of Americans admit they wouldn't last more than 3 days without power. And when the brutal summer heat starts frying everything, that number shoots up to 91%. Trust me, thinking it won't happen to me is the fastest way to find yourself totally unprepared. I've been living off-grid for years, and I've learned the hard way what works and what doesn't. These essentials aren't just some cute survivalist wish list. They're the real deal, tested by me personally. Pay attention, because while everyone else is panicking in 2025, you'll already be 10 steps ahead. Stick around, hit that subscribe button, and don't miss a second of this, because your safety depends on it. Here's where we start. 1. Power Independence Essential, the portable solar generator. Picture this. It's the middle of July. A devastating heat wave is choking the region at 103 degrees. The neighborhood is silent. Not because it's peaceful, but because the power is out. This is exactly what happened to my neighbor Tom last year. While others on the block were struggling to stay cool and searching for solutions to keep their food from spoiling, Tom was sitting comfortably, fan running, medications perfectly chilled. The man practically radiated calm. How? Thanks to his portable solar generator. Here's the deal. We're staring down the barrel of summer 2025, which experts predict will bring record-breaking heat and a staggering 40% increase in extreme heat events. Add an aging, unstable power grid to the mix, and blackouts shouldn't just be on your radar. They should be your default expectation. And a portable solar generator? That's your lifeline. But don't just grab the first generator you find on sale. Technology in this space is evolving rapidly. And if you've got a model older than 8 months, you're behind. The latest releases in 2025 feature lithium iron phosphate batteries, which are a game changer. These batteries last up to 10 years and handle extreme heat far better than the older lithium-ion options. They're also safer, less likely to overheat or catch fire when things get intense. Here's what you need to look for. First, get a generator with at least 1,500 watt-hours. That's enough to keep essentials running, like your fridge for up to 16 hours, or all your electronics for several days. Second, prioritize fast charging. Models equipped with advanced solar panels can hit 80% capacity in just 2 to 3 hours of good sunlight, compared to older models that take nearly triple that. It's not just a selling point, it's about survival when timing matters. Ports are the next priority. Choose a model with versatile options like AC ports, DC outputs, USB-C, and even wireless charging pads for quick convenience. I've seen some people skimp here and regret it later when their outdated generator couldn't handle modern devices. Don't be that person. Expect to invest between $1,000 and $1,500. It's tempting to cheap out, but ask yourself this. How much is your safety worth when blackouts could last days or even weeks? Hospital visits for heat-related illnesses surged during the last major outage, and that generator is more than just a convenience. It's what stands between you and the ER. I can tell you from personal experience, when the heat climbs past 95 degrees, having a reliable solar generator can be the reason you're still standing. Trust me, this isn't just a gadget. It's the core pillar of your off-grid survival strategy. 2. Liquid Lifesaver, a robust water filtration system. Here's a blunt truth you might not want to hear. When the power goes out, clean and safe water can vanish faster than you think. I learned this the hard way during my first off-grid experiment. It was day 3. The thermometer was tipping dangerously close to 97 degrees. My mistake? Relying on rationing. I found myself lightheaded from dehydration, staring at the only thing I had left, half a bottle of water. That's when it hit me. Water isn't an afterthought. It's the thought. This isn't just me being dramatic. You can survive weeks without food but water, barely 3 days, and in extreme heat that number drops drastically. A University of Arizona study found that during scorching conditions, your body can sweat up to 2 liters per hour. That's 2 full water bottles every single hour. Now where's all that gonna come from when the taps go dry? Think you'll just drink from the nearest river? Sure, if you want to gamble with your health. Almost 40% of our freshwater sources are contaminated based on the EPA's latest reports. Bacteria, heavy metals, pesticides, microplastics. You need a system that doesn't just filter water, it purifies it. Gravity filters are the gold standard for stationary setups, brands like Berkey leading the way. They just revolutionized their filters to remove 99.9% of microplastics. And it's not all about big, stationary solutions. Portable options can't be ignored either. Filters like the Sawyer Squeeze and Katadyn Be Free fit right in your go bag. They're fast, efficient, and perfect for those moments when dehydration sneaks up on you. But here's the kicker. Portable reverse osmosis systems, once bulky and overpriced, are now compact and affordable. Newer 2025 models even handle brackish or seawater. Imagine being near the coast during a blackout. Instead of panicking about available fresh water, you're turning seawater into drinkable gold. It's a game changer. One last piece of advice? Have redundancy in your system. A stationary gravity filter for your base camp and at least 2 portable ones for emergencies. Last August, my neighbor had no access to clean water because his electric well pump failed. Watching his kids struggle in the heat? That's not something I'd wish on anyone. Invest now. This isn't paranoia, it's preparation. 3. Your all-in-one problem solver, the survival multi-tool. Here's a rule of thumb you can take to the bank. The second you think things can't get worse, they absolutely can. Off-grid Murphy's Law becomes fact. That's why a fully loaded survival multi-tool is always within my reach. True story. Last summer I was putting up a temporary shelter. The main support wire snapped. That's bad enough, but the kicker? I had no backup wire, no nearby supply store, and a storm closing in. Without my multi-tool, I was looking at a ruined night and worse, compromised safety. But thanks to its wire cutters, pliers, and some quick ingenuity, I was back up and running. A quality multi-tool isn't a gimmick. It's not just a pair of scissors on steroids. It's a compact survival partner. Over 75% of outdoor emergencies require more than one tool. Do you really want to bet on a single flimsy knife or some DIY duct tape hack saving your skin? Because I've seen people lose that bet, and it's ugly. Now in 2025, multi-tools are taking a leap forward. Modern versions aren't just tools, they're customizable lifesavers. Brands like Leatherman and Gerber now offer modular tools. So instead of tossing the whole kit when a piece breaks, you just swap out the broken part. They're also lighter, made with titanium, and built to endure rust and extreme conditions. Humidity and heat waves? Bring it on! When buying, insist your tool has the basics at minimum. Pliers, a quality knife, wire cutters, a small saw, screwdrivers, and even a bottle opener. Hey, hydration's important too. But here's where it gets crucial. Make sure your multi-tool includes a built-in fire starter. Statistics back this up. 62% of wilderness survival situations identified starting a fire as mission critical. A fire starter in your multi-tool? Total lifesaver. Don't fall for cheap knockoffs. Yes, they're everywhere, and yes, they're tempting, but I promise you regret is more expensive. One broke on me mid-use during a practice run, and it was useless when I needed it most. Lesson learned. Invest in quality. Here's the bottom line. A superior multi-tool isn't just something you save for emergencies. It's a daily use item for off-grid life. Skip this, and you'll wish you didn't. 4. Stay fed, stay sharp, the ultimate food storage plan. Look, here's the truth. Nobody wants to think about food shortages during a blackout. But ignoring it won't make it go away. Trust me, I learned this the hard way last summer when my power went out for 48 hours during a heat wave. The fridge? Done. The food? Spoiling within hours. I realized just how fragile our food supply really is when temperatures soar and the grid shuts down. Here's where it gets worse. According to research from the University of Michigan, food spoils 3 times faster in extreme heat, which we're set to see a lot more of in 2025. Stop kidding yourself that some canned beans and boxes of stale crackers will get you through. If you're serious about surviving blackouts, your food storage needs an upgrade.
Period.
Step 1. Freeze-dried meals. I know what you're thinking. Freeze-dried food? No thanks. But this isn't the tasteless astronaut food of the past. Brands like Mountain House and Nutri-Store have completely transformed what emergency food can be. Imagine having meals like beef stroganoff, chicken teriyaki, or even pasta primavera, all tasting like they were made yesterday. Oh, and these meals last 25 years. No joke. But here's the kicker. Long-term survival isn't just about calories. It's about morale. Eating the same 3 meals on repeat will crush your spirit faster than the blackout itself. That's why variety is key. Add vacuum-sealed staples like rice, oats, and pasta. They're cost-effective, last ages if stored correctly, and give you options. Pair these with oxygen absorbers and Mylar bags for a bomb-proof storage solution. Now I know what you're really missing during blackouts. Fresh greens. Enter sprouting kits. These kits don't need soil, electricity, or even much water to deliver a fresh batch of sprouts in just 3 to 5 days. Imagine growing your own nutrient-packed food while everyone else stares at their canned peas. I started using one last summer, and I swear it was a game changer for both nutrition and sanity. Root cellar strategies are another piece of the puzzle. Don't have a fancy cellar? Don't worry. You can use simple ancient methods like a ceramic pot-in-pot cooling system. It's easy to set up, requires zero power, and keeps veggies cool in temperatures up to 100 degrees. According to research by MIT's Sustainable Design Lab, these systems can keep food 10 to 15 degrees cooler than room temperature. Genius, right? One last thing that often gets overlooked: adaptogens. These are foods like dried mushrooms and herbs that help your body deal with stress. Not only do these boost endurance during heat waves, but they also improve immune function after weeks off-grid. I've kept a supply of chaga and reishi mushrooms in my storage since 2022, and trust me, they've more than earned their keep. Listen, whatever food you're thinking of stockpiling, add 25% more. Heat burns calories, and stress eats away at your supplies faster than you think. During my first off-grid summer, I planned 3 weeks worth of food, and by day 13, I was sweating bullets about running out. Learn from my mistakes. Long-term food storage isn't a maybe, it's a survival necessity. 5. Heat-Ready Health Kit, the ultimate first aid upgrade. Basic first aid kits are trash for summer blackouts. Yeah, I said it! A couple of Band-Aids and some aspirin aren't going to cut it when heat waves push the human body to its limits. I've seen it! My buddy Jake thought he was prepared on a day hike last year. Temps hit 90-day, not even record-breaking, but by hour 3, he was down. Dizzy, dehydrated, and out of options. His standard kit? Virtually useless. Here's the deal. The CDC reports a skyrocketing 40% increase in ER visits for heat-related illnesses over the past 3 years. With 2025's heat predictions, those numbers won't just continue to climb, they'll explode. You need a real first aid kit, customized for extreme heat.
Period.
Start with a digital thermometer, but don't grab a cheap stick version. The new infrared, touchless thermometers hitting the market measure temps in seconds with pinpoint accuracy. When someone's heat exhaustion is on the brink of heat stroke, seconds matter. Trust me on this. Next, grab cooling towels. And no, I'm not talking about tossing an old wet rag on your neck. The new hydrogel-infused cooling towels can cool you down for up to 6 hours, even under the blazing sun. These bad boys are a must-have when hydration alone isn't enough. While we're on hydration, electrolyte powders are non-negotiable. Forget sports drinks loaded with sugar. I'm talking high magnesium and potassium powders designed for serious heat recovery. Wilderness medicine researchers found these advanced formulas replenish fluids and electrolyte levels faster than anything else. I tested them after a grueling 6-hour hike last August, and the difference was insane. I felt functional again within minutes. Here's a pro tip most people ignore. Emergency Mylar blankets aren't just for hypothermia. When soaked in cold water, they can lower body temps rapidly in heat stroke situations. I've seen this technique stabilize someone within 15 minutes. A $3 investment could save a life. Why wouldn't you have one? One underrated 2025 innovation? UV exposure patches. These color-changing stickers literally warn you about dangerous UV and dehydration levels before your body starts to fail. And they're nearly foolproof. Stick on, check regularly, don't collapse from heat stroke. Easy. One last critical element to your first aid prep: storage. Meds and ointments will degrade fast in high heat. Got a melted tube of cream when you really need it? Useless. Store your kit in an insulated, waterproof case. I learned this one the hard way last summer, and now I wouldn't dream of skipping it. Here's the bottom line. A heatwave-proof first aid kit isn't a nice extra, it's essential. Blackouts and extreme heat, they don't wait for you to get your act together. 6. Lifeline Tech Off-Grid Communication Essentials. No communication, no safety. It's that simple. Families get separated. Emergencies turn deadly. And here's the kicker. Most people don't even think about this until the lights go out and it's too late. Last year, I was stuck during a freak summer storm that knocked out the grid for 3 days. No calls, no texts, nada. Do you know how helpless that feels? Now, if you think I'll just wait it out, good luck. National Emergency Communication stats show 66% of Americans lack a backup communication plan. That shouldn't be you. Backup comms don't just give peace of mind, they keep you alive. Step 1, two-way radios, but not the toy ones. Models like the latest Motorola Tate series are insane upgrades from anything you've used before. Imagine a 35-mile range, Bluetooth smartphone syncing, and offline GPS, so even if cell towers are dead, you stay connected. They're affordable, simple to use, and should already be in your Go kit. If you need more range, bump up to a portable ham radio. Don't roll your eyes. Yes, you'll need a license, but it's worth the minimal effort. A $40 Baofeng UV5R will give you reliable, long-distance communication and even access no AA weather alerts. This isn't just about chatting. We're talking life and death updates when storms or heat waves hit hard. But the gold standard? Satellite communicators. Devices like Garmin's latest InReach Mini 2 don't just text via satellite, they allow real-time SOS alerts. The new models have incredible battery life and are super compact. Whether you're hiking remote trails or riding out a blackout, these are game changers. And here's a pro tip. Don't forget about charging solutions. New solar-powered chargers like the Anker 625 can juice up all your devices in a few hours. Pair that with an old-school hand-crank charger for emergencies, and you're covered. Don't just buy this gear and toss it in a drawer. Test it. Practice makes perfect. And fumbling with a device mid-crisis isn't just annoying, it's dangerous. Communication during a blackout isn't optional. Be prepared. 7. Chilling without power. Non-electric cooling hacks for brutal heat. If you think you can ride out a scorching summer blackout without cooling solutions, you're either wildly optimistic or downright foolish. Last July, I learned this lesson the hard way. A heat wave rolled in, power rolled out, and for 4 days I sat sweating through 102 degrees with no relief in sight. I'd have sold my soul just for a breeze that actually cooled me down. Don't make my mistake. Prepare now with these non-electric cooling lifesavers. First up, ceramic cooling towers. These things are like natural air conditioners, and they're absolute game changers for off-grid living. The principle is simple but effective. The porous ceramic material works using evaporative cooling. All you do is add water, and as it evaporates, the surrounding temperature drops by up to 15 degrees. Last summer, I finally picked up an Earth-Cool tower, one of the newer models specialized for extreme heat. It kept an entire room manageable for nearly 10 hours on one fill. Zero electricity, minimal hassle, maximum comfort. These are a must-have for anyone serious about staying cool in the chaos of a blackout. Looking for something quick and budget-friendly? Make your own DIY swamp cooler. All you need is a 5-gallon bucket, some PVC pipes, ice, and a battery-powered fan. Cut holes in the bucket for the pipes, fill it with ice, and direct the pipes outward. The fan blows air over the ice, creating a refreshingly cool breeze. The total cost? About $30. The relief it provides? Priceless. Next, block out the heat before it even enters your home. Reflective window films are a gift from the survival gods. The newest versions by companies like 3M can block up to 80% of heat, keeping your indoor space tolerable regardless of the raging temperatures outside. Pair these with insulated thermal curtains to create a double defense. After I added these to my setup, my cabin's indoor temperature immediately dropped by 7 degrees. That's like night and day when the world outside feels like it's melting. Finally, don't underestimate the humble cooling bandana. The new hydrogel-infused options stay cool for up to 6 hours once soaked in water. Wrap one around your neck, wrist, or forehead, and your core body temp will thank you. During a brutal off-grid camping trip last August, these little wonders stopped me from overheating on more than one occasion. Trust me, they're small, cheap, and life-saving. Bottom line? When the power fails, the heat won't wait. Stock up on cooling tools now, or sweat it out while you regret your lack of preparation. 8. Bugs Be Gone, the battle plan for pest-free survival. If there's one thing that'll make your off-grid summer a living nightmare, it's pests. Trust me, I've been there. 2 summers ago, my cabin turned into ground zero for an insect apocalypse. Mosquitoes swarmed me every hour, ants went full commando in my pantry, and I spent more time scratching bites than sleeping. Lesson learned. If you want to keep your sanity and health intact, a robust pest control strategy isn't a luxury, it's Survival 101. Step 1. Get your hands on the latest nanomesh screens. Released in 2024, these high-tech screens are engineered to block pests so small they'd make you question their existence. Mosquitoes, midges, even no-see-ums, none of them are getting through. Plus, they won't block airflow, so you'll stay cool. If your windows and doors aren't already outfitted with these, you're inviting trouble. Next up, cedar oil granules. These tiny powerhouses repel mosquitoes, ticks, and a host of other annoying bugs without dousing everything in harsh chemicals. Bonus? They're completely safe for pets and kids. Last summer, after spreading these around my cabin's perimeter, it was like an invisible barrier went up. The mosquito swarm vanished almost overnight. No buzzing, no bites, no problem. Speaking of personal protection, ditch the sticky chemical-heavy DEET sprays. Switch to picaridin-based repellents. They're plant-based, protective for up to 12 hours, and don't leave you feeling like you just rolled in oil. I made the switch last year, and not only was I less irritable, but my family actually stopped dreading applying bug spray. Now, if you're dealing with crawling pests along with flyers, invest in an ultrasonic pest repeller. The latest dual-frequency models emit sound waves that insects can't stand but are completely undetectable to humans or pets. Within days of installing these, I noticed a dramatic drop in creepy crawlers in the pantry and living spaces. For something so low effort, they're ridiculously effective. And don't forget the diatomaceous earth. This powder is your line in the sand for food storage. Sprinkle it around sealed containers or in pantry cracks, and you'll stop ants, beetles, and other food-thieving pests before they start. It's 100% human-safe, but absolutely devastates insects. I've been using it since losing an entire stash of emergency food to ants, and I haven't had an issue since. The takeaway here? Bugs will test your patience and compromise your survival strategy. Fight back now or spend your summer swatting, itching, and regretting. 9. Power without limits, redundant energy backups. If your entire off-grid survival plan revolves around sunlight, you're gambling big. Last August, a 3-day storm proved that to me when my solar setup went dark, leaving me without refrigeration, lights, or even a working fan. Everything came to a grinding halt, and that's a mistake I'll never make again. You need backup power solutions. Multiple ones. First on the list, propane-powered generators. Specifically, dual-fuel models that can switch from propane to natural gas seamlessly. This year's EcoFlow Smart Propane system is designed to kick in automatically when your primary solar batteries drop below a certain charge level. During my last Blackout event, this thing was a lifesaver. It kept my essentials running without me lifting a finger. Another exciting advancement is sodium-ion batteries. Forget traditional lithium-ion. Sodium-ion tech is far more resilient in high heat and degrades significantly slower. These batteries hit the market in 2025, and after testing 1 in 100 degree summer conditions, I can confidently say they're a worthy investment. They'll cost a little more upfront, but the peace of mind during heat waves is more than worth it. Don't overlook mechanical options either. Hand-crank generators have come a long way. The latest models can charge a smartphone to 50% in under 10 minutes of use. Trust me, if you end up in a scenario without solar power or gas, this simple, robust gadget could make the difference between staying connected and being completely cut off. Here's a pro maintenance tip you can't skip. Batteries and generators don't thrive in scorching heat. Perform monthly checks to prevent corrosion or degradation, and consider storing them underground in a basic DIY battery chamber. Subterranean temperatures stay much cooler, extending your equipment's life exponentially. Redundancy is the golden rule here. Rely on one power source and you're setting yourself up for failure. Build a layered system, test it, and never find yourself powerless when you need it the most. Conclusion: preparation is the key to staying resilient during uncertain times. By equipping yourself with these 9 survival must-haves, you can face the challenges of a blackout with confidence and peace of mind. Don't wait until it's too late. Take action now. Test your systems, and ensure you and your loved ones are ready for whatever summer 2025 may bring. Stay proactive, stay prepared, and stay